Okay, so yeah, so as time progressed, my mom ended up dating someone that was in prison. Um, rest my stepfather's rest his soul. And he ended up getting out of prison and moving us. We got off Section A, and my stepdad bought a house straight from prison. And I was very, very like, I didn't want to move away from my friends, but my mom had entered a new relationship, so I pretty much ain't have no choice. So we moved to a new house, and it had a swimming pool. Everything was good. And one night, my stepdad was telling me to go to bed, and I had got really, really pissed off with him. I wasn't like a super difficult stepchild, but I did come with some issues at the beginning of my mom and my stepdad relationship, because I was so used to it just being me and my mom, and I was a spoiled child. So afterwards, it took a little time for me and my stepdad to build up our relationship. And so one night he was trying to tell me to go to bed, and I got so mad with him because I was on the phone talking to David, and David was in the hospital. And so I was just calling to check on him. And I am. And I flipped out. You know what I'm saying? Told him, you don't tell me to get off the phone when I'm talking to him, you know? So fast forward, shortly after that, me and my mom kept saying we want to go visit him. We want to go visit him because he was in the hospital. So we made it in time by the grace of God to go visit him. And he was sick, but we didn't know how sick he was. And he never really revealed his sickness to us. And so one day I got the phone call. Well, my mom got the phone call. And she was like, somebody had told her that he passed away. She was like, David dead, David dead, David dead. And I just heard my mom screaming, you know, from her room. And I just collapsed in the hallway. I just fell to the floor. And I just started crying. I just started crying. Because he was a real earth angel. Like, our bond was so close. That's why I was able to talk disrespectfully to my stepdad, because, you know, David was there to do what my dad in New York couldn't do. So I had took that all the way personal. And I found out that he had cancer. And I was shocked. You know, I was like around in the ninth grade, give or take. Yeah, about in the ninth grade. And I never really had known anything about cancer or anything. You know what I'm saying? You would hear things, but I wasn't aware about cancer. And so it had really shocked me, like, because I was so used to being able to call him whenever I wanted to call David, used to seeing him. And then my mom, she's starting a new relationship, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he had already lived with us in two different homes, you know what I'm saying? And now my mom and him went in separate directions, and now he's gone. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot as a teenager to deal with that. And I cried so much over this, you know? And I think that's when I really started being destructive. You know, my pain, I started being really destructive and doing what I want to do, and not really having hope, not really having hope. But God was with me all the way through this process. We went to the funeral. I seen his children that was in attendance, and I was crying so hard sitting on the front row. I still remember it clearly. And my two twin older sisters, they were sitting on the side of me, and they was just rubbing my back. They was rubbing my back because we all loved him the same. You know what I'm saying? He was a part of our lives and very valuable in our life as a person. And yeah, me and my friends on the dirt road and in the projects, we used to just like, I knew when he would like be there hanging out with his buddies and things like that, his friends, you know, like after a hard week of work, he would be at Mr. Charles' store. Little hangout spot down there on Old Wilmington Road in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And my friends, we would have a time, you know what I'm saying? Get our little candy and stuff and just hang out. Those was the good old days. So, yeah, that's pretty much what happened and how I found out about cancer and what happened to Mr. David Lee Johnson. Until the next video.